Okay, so by the time Trump's second term is over, I worry that we will live in a country where corporations are much more white and male than a decade ago. Ridiculous, because the president's anti-diversity stances will be widely adopted. It's not anti-diversity, it's anti-DEI, which wasn't about diversity. It was about changing the way positions or spots or acceptance into institutions was determined. So what he's doing is restoring merit-based. If a consequence of that is the demographic breakdown of a certain school or a certain changes, well, so be it. But you can't get rid of merit-based. You have to do merit-based, and you have to help people who are don't have the same access to schools. And sure, we should always help them. Always be charitable. Always offer assistance. But you can't handicap. You have to still has to be a level playing field. You can't give people extra points on a test based on the skin color. You can't take more of this group than that group. It's not fair. It's reverse discrimination. We know that. So he is not anti-diversity. He's saying diversity is not the goal in itself. It's a nice thing to have, but it's always merit first. But there will be very little academic research showing that change, because universities will steer their faculty away from work that might offend the Trump administration. You see what he's doing? He knows that the stats will come out showing that the merit-based way is the proper approach. Okay, the classic liberalism way is the approach with free markets and civil liberties. But he's going to claim that the universities are not going to show those stats because they're not going to do research because they're afraid of Trump. No, they'll do the stats, and the stats won't say what he wants them to say. So therefore, they won't report them. That's the more accurate way to look at it. He finishes up with this. It's time for aggressive, sustained defense of liberal institutions and practices. No, sirree, Bob. I say it's time for an aggressive, sustained defense of classic liberal philosophies and government solutions, which is half the solutions are don't get involved. Leave people alone. That's the solution. And he says immediately, period. People who believe in the importance of modern liberalism need to explain why these ideas and programs are good for the country and not simply fall back on casting Trump and his allies as anti-democratic, cruel, or racist. You know what? He's right. If you really believe in modern liberalism as it is in reality, basically a socialistic state that does not use merit as a standard, and that confiscates one person's goods to give them to another, and doesn't look at things, doesn't celebrate the three main things: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as the core. Well, then make the argument for it. If you're a socialist, then make the argument for it. I largely agree with those characterizations, but they don't specifically explain the dangers of Trump's actions or the virtues of what he's dismantling. He's dismantling virtues. That's amazing. There is so much to celebrate. In fact, remember the word virtues, because I'm going to talk about Thomas Jefferson in a minute, and it's really interesting that he's using the word virtues. There is so much to celebrate about modern day liberalism. Inspectors generals and journalists may often stop government officials from misusing public funds. Diversity and inclusion programs make sure the best people are hired. Oh my goodness. Look what he's saying. That sentence it's complete polar opposite. Diversity, inclusion, DEI programs make sure the best people are hired. The best, independent of test results or how they did in school, based on the color of someone's skin or their sex. That's what that's what makes them the best. Opposite, the complete opposite of what Martin Luther King said. Content of their character, right? Who they are, and part of who they are is, of course, what they know and how they perform, not the color of their skin. He's saying that color of their skin is what makes the people the best hired, not just whoever's a friend of the boss. Oh, so here we go. So it's the cronyism. Immigrants provide creativity, work hard, and ultimately economic growth. I agree completely that immigrants provide creativity, hard work, and ultimately economic growth. You know why? I agree. He's right. But illegal immigrants don't. Illegal immigrants are a burden on the system. It creates a dangerous environment, and it actually hurts legal immigrants who do provide creativity, hard work, and ultimately economic growth. They'll just never admit the facts that we're not talking about. It's apples and oranges. He loves immigrants apparently, and so do I. But he includes people who violate the laws of this nation and come here illegal and take advantage of the situation with people who are waiting online and doing things properly. So do colleges and universities. Trump isn't just engaging in a cultural war, that cliche, that lazy political analysis. I guess I'm a lazy political analysis. Apply to any policy that touches on race, gender, or sexual orientation. His policies will make America less productive. Oh my goodness. Does he really believe that? Does he really believe that Trump's policies will make America less productive, less innovative, and less equal? It's disgusting. His policies will make America less productive. It's already more productive just by him being in office. Less innovative? Oh, yeah. No, he's not. He's not rallying all the great creative minds in technology and bringing back manufacturing. No. And less equal. Ridiculous. He is trying to make America a democracy with much less liberalism, and he must be stopped. Once again, this is by Perry Bacon Jr. Mr. Bacon, I'd love for you to come on the show. I'm gonna reach out to him. He should come on the show and go through this this beautifully. Obviously, I'm tongue in cheek. This beautiful essay here and talk about it.